The question states that S is equals to the set of all ordered pairs xy in R cross R, that xy plus y squared is equals to 100. So first, for part A, it asks us to determine the set of all values of x such that x is inside the S. So firstly, when we are given this pair, it means that y will be equals to 6. Then we will need to substitute this 6 into this equation. So x squared plus 6 squared equals to 100. Here we will get 36, and then move that part to here, which is 64. So make x as the subject, we will get plus minus 64, which means x is equals to negative 8 and also 8. So from this question, the set of all values of x is denoted by this negative 8 and also 8. This is the answer for question E. Next, moving on to question B. For part B, it is quite the same as part E. So from this pair, we can denote y as 9. From this value, we will need to substitute 9 as the y inside the equation. So we will get x squared plus 81 equals 100. X squared will equal to 19. So x will equal to plus minus 19. From this, we will get the value of x, which are negative 19 and also 19. Therefore, the answer is negative 19 and also 19. For question C, determine the domain and the range of the relation S. Firstly, we can choose x equals to 0. So from this, we will need to substitute 0 squared plus y squared equals to 100. From this, we will get plus minus 100, which means y is equals to negative 10 and also 10. When we let y equals to 0, x squared plus 0 squared equals to 100. We will get the same as before, which is plus minus 100, which means x is equals to negative 10 and also 10. So it shows that this is for the range and this is for the domain. For the smallest value of x, which is the domain, it is equal to negative 10, and for the largest, it is equal to 10. As for y, the smallest range is negative 10 and the largest range is 10. So from this, we get the domain, which is domain for set S and a closed interval of negative 10 and also 10. As for the range of set S, it is also a closed interval of negative 10 to 10. Lastly, for question D, is the relation S a function from R to R? We can try to consider x equals to 0. So from this, we will need to substitute x equals to 0 into x squared plus y squared equals to 100. Here, we will get 0 squared plus y squared equals to 100. Then y will be equals to plus minus 100 and y equals negative 10, 10. From this, we have an input of x equals to 0. But notice how the same input, which is a1 equals to a2, but the results is the output, which is y equals to negative 10 and also 10. Both of the output, which is the images, are not equal. Therefore, S is not a function. From R to R. Because there is at least one value of x, which is 0, correspond to more than one y value. So that's all for question 3.
So I'm going to explain question 10, which asks us to find the domain and range for each function. So I'll just go through each part step by step. So for part A, we have the function fv equals to the square root of 9 minus v squared. So let's find the domain of the function first. Okay, so as you notice here, we are given the function of a square root function. That means whatever is inside the square root must be greater than or equals to 0. So I will start with the condition 9 minus v squared more than or equals to 0. Then I will move 9 to the right hand side, which gives us negative v squared more than or equals to negative 9. And then I'll divide both sides with a negative 1. When I divide both sides with negative 1, the inequality sign will flip around, which gives us the sign less than or equal. And then square root both of the side to get only v. And we know that v is in between negative 3 and 3. So that is our domain. Our domain of function will be in between negative 3 to 3. Okay, so let's move on to the range of the function. Okay, so if you notice here, the smallest value inside the square root is 0, which will happen when v is either negative 3 or positive 3. So let's substitute 3 and negative 3 into the function. So f3 will equals to square root of 9 minus 3 squared, which gives f's square root of 0. Okay, now let's substitute negative 3 into the function, and we should be getting the same thing. Square root 9 minus negative 3 squared, so it gives us 9 minus 9. So yes, we also get 0 when v is 3 or negative 3. And then the biggest value inside the square root will happen when v is 0. So when v is 0, we get square root of 9 minus 0 squared, which will get square root of 9, and then it will be equals to 3. So the smallest ff value is 0, and the biggest value is 3. So that is our range, which is square bracket 0 to 3. Okay, so for part B, we are given the function fx equals to x minus 5 squared plus 3 when x is more than 5. So to find the domain, it is actually already given to us, which is this one, x is more than 5. So this is our domain. So we will just rewrite that as round bracket 5 to infinity. Alright, so now for the range, the key idea is to look at the vertex function. So since the function is already in a vertex form, we don't even need to expand it because vertex form is the easiest to find the domain and the range. Okay, so since the x is in positive value, so the vertex will have a minimum value since the parabola will open upward like this. So this is the vertex value, which is when x is 5 and y is 3. But since we are given the restriction that x must be more than 5, then it should also be applied for y, or range. Y is also needs to be more than 3. So that's why our range will be 3 to infinity, anything above 3. So y is more than 3. Okay, so for the last part C, we have the function fu equals to 1 over the square root of x squared minus 9. So part C, the function has a square root in the denominator. So there are two conditions that needs to be applied here. So first, inside square root must be positive, which is more or equals to 0. And number 2, the denominator cannot be 0. So that is our rules. So I will start with x squared minus 9 more than 0. And then I'll bring 9 to the right hand side. Which we will get x squared more than 9. And then square both sides, and we will get two possibilities, which is x is more than 3 or x is less than negative 3. So the domain of the function here is negative infinity to negative 3 or 3 to infinity. Okay, so for the last part, for the range, so for the last part, for the range, now think about what happens to the expression 1 over square root of x squared minus 9, this one. So as we solved before, which is for the domain, the square root is always more than 0. So it also applied for y. So for the y value will be always more than 0. So that is our range. Our range is 0 to infinity. All for the explanation for question 10. Thank you.